Okay, welcome to the Lightning Quest. Now, I'm going to give you 3 fetch quests now, and you're going to have 40 seconds to find each one in turn. Or if you need longer, just pause the video. It's not like we're going to know. So, 40 seconds to find each of 3 items. So let's start with the first one. So the first thing I want everybody to find is 4 thin, straight items. So I'm thinking pens or pencils or rulers or cutlery or straws, something like that. 4 long, thin, straight items. Go. Okay, hopefully you've got your 4 thin, straight items now. So pop them down and let's fetch your second thing, which is something soft that you can make into a long shape, like a number or a letter. So you could grab a scarf or a ribbon or a rolled up towel or a phone charging cable, anything that is flexible and shapeable, which I'm not even sure is a word. Go. Right, so now you have 4 straight items and something that you can shape. So the final fetch quest is to find a collection of small items that you could arrange together in a shape, which I'll tell you about a little bit later. So I'm thinking toy cars, or marbles, or paper clips, or sweets, or any collection of just small items that you could arrange. Go. And breathe. Now, hopefully you've now got everything you need. So it's time to put something together and see if we're all as good at following instructions as John the Baptist and Jesus were. Now, this craft has 5 very simple steps. So let's get on with step number 1. So step number 1 is to take one of your 4 straight items and just put it vertically on the ground in front of you, just straight down. Nice and easy first step. That's it. It gets a little bit harder. Okay, are we all done? Have you got a straight bit vertically on the ground? Hopefully you've got something that looks a little bit like this. So far so good. All right, step 2. Now the last fetch quest you did was to grab a load of small items. So what I want you to do now is to the right of your straight item. Right is that way on the camera. I'm mirrored. That was left, wasn't it? This is right. To the right of your straight item, I want you to arrange those in a snake pattern, a little bit like a big S. So off to the right, make a snake-like pattern that looks a bit like an S out of all of your small items. So let's go. off to the right. Make yourself an S out of all of those small items. You should now have a vertical piece and an S-shaped, snake-like shape to the right. So, right, this is now, at the end of this step, what my version looks like. Feel free to make adjustments if you've gone another way. It's probably my instructions, don't worry. And then we're going to move on to step number 3. So step number 3 is to take another straight item and put it across your first straight item. So you've got your first straight item and you're going to put your other straight item across it in the middle, but off to the right. Okay, so imagine a plus sign, but the horizontal bit is shifted off to the right, a bit like this. Okay, so one more straight item across the horizontal, across the vertical bit you've already got, but a bit to the right. Okay, so step 3 is done. Hopefully you have something like this. If you don't have something like that, feel free to have a bit of a tinker, and then we are going to do step 4, which is to take the last 2 straight items and do exactly what you did with the previous straight item, but instead of being in the middle going across, you put one at the top and you put one at the bottom. So you end up with 1 vertical straight piece and 3 horizontal pieces coming off it. Okay, let's do that. Okay, we are nearly there. So hopefully you have got something that looks a little bit like this. If you don't, have a little bit of a play, move it all around so it looks a little bit like what's in the picture. There is just one more step to go. Okay, so step 5 is to complete what it is that we're making by taking the soft item that you can make into a shape and curve it into a Y shape, putting it to the left of everything you have made so far. So take it up and roll it and curve it into a Y shape. It can be a capital Y, it can be a little y, it can be whatever sort of Y you want, and put it to the left of everything we've made so far. And that is that. Now this is my version. Hopefully you've got something similar. If you don't, please don't worry. It's much more likely to be my terrible instructions than your obedience. So it's going to be a pass for you all around. But now that we've made our yes, we can say that this is the word that we will say to God when he asks us to do something. This is the word we use when we want to be as obedient as John was and as obedient as Jesus was. Well done, everybody.